God is writing a miraculous story for the Beaufort Seventh-day Adventist Church. That's a story that I believe is far different from many churches in their pursuit of a new facility. Too often what happens is that a church will borrow a large sum of money for a new facility, with the loan being secured by financial pledges that members intended to pay for years down the road. But a problem often arises when those same members who pledge their financial support to the church, when they die or relocate or backslide or get laid off. And so the capacity to give in that church decreases. And with the limited money that the church does receive, the church mortgage takes the first priority, with less funds being able to invest directly into people through evangelism and community services and felt need ministries. And so the Beaufort Seventh-day Adventist Church has decided to step out in faith upon God's Word and the counsel of the Spirit of prophecy to see that our church will not be heavily laden with debt as we renovate Salem Village. We do not want to financially impede our ability to invest directly into people. We've bought a 33,000 square foot shopping center and are committed to renovating 13,000 square feet of it for our new church home, all by God's grace, using cash in hand through the sacrificial giving of our members over the next 3 years. All right, you're standing here at the Salem Village Shopping Center. This is the property that God has blessed our church with. And I just want to walk you through and show you what we are planning to do with God's grace to renovate this secular space for sacred purposes. Over here you've got this space called Buffs, and that's about 3,000 square feet of space. And that's going to be a space that we would want to fill in with some kind of ministry, whether it's a thrift store or whether it is some kind of child care facility. Different people have been praying over different things, but there's 3,000 square feet at the Buffs that we need to fill with some practical ministry that can benefit the community on a day-to-day basis. Then we've got this place that's called Ladies Fitness. This is where we are planning on putting most of our classroom space for either our Sabbath school or possibly even opening up a new church school. The Beaufort Seventh-day Adventist Church had a wonderful church school that we operated for many years, and unfortunately we've had to close that down. But that's going to be dedicated to classroom space of either Sabbath school or church school usage. Then this spot here, there's really not a name on it, so just to the left of Ladies Fitness, that used to be the Omni Gym, a workout place. And this space is perfect for our new church home. High ceilings, plenty of room for a sanctuary, nice bathrooms with even showers in them. And our hope is that we can bring literature evangelists in, young people, literature evangelists to do work, or choirs that we can house in there where they can take showers, stay in the church when they're doing ministry throughout here in the community, selling books or coming here for concerts, those kinds of things. And so this space here, next to this bigger space, this is about 10,000 square feet. So you got 10,000 square feet for worship that can seat about 300 people or more, depending upon how the sanctuary is laid out. And then you have the ladies' fitness space for either church school or Sabbath school classrooms. Then you got this larger space over here. This is about 20,000 feet. And this is where we really hope and envision and pray to have some kind of just ongoing ministry throughout the week, whether it's a food bank or some kind of thrift store possibly there as well, or some kind of medical clinic. We've got a lot of nurses within our church, a lot of healthcare professionals or retired nurses that we could see going in there, and maybe just using all that square footage for all of the above. There's just so much potential we want to tap into here to fill up this large parking space, not just on Saturday, but all week long to God's glory. I want to tell you about another miracle in the story here that God is writing for the Beaufort Seventh-day Adventist Church. Steve Cruz has spent most of his life building churches for all over Protestant denominations all over this part of the United States. And Steve came to our church to worship with us at about the same time we were looking at purchasing this building. And we could not dare to do what we're doing over here without his expertise and his guidance leading us the way.
I think we got an incredible buy-in in the opportunity that clearly the Lord led us to at Salem Village. I calculated that we have been able to buy the space raw and unimproved for $18.39 a foot. I calculated some numbers for the building board and can see that for around $50 a square foot, we can have viable ministry space for the things that we're about to define as a vision committee that we need worst. And we obviously know that that's worship because we're renting now. But there's loads of opportunity in the balance of the about 33,000 square foot of opportunity that is just waiting for us to be able to fulfill.
Back in May of 2010, the Beaufort Seventh-day Adventist Church received a $10,000 donation to our building fund from nationally syndicated radio personality and New York Times bestselling author Dave Ramsey.
Hello?
Is Jason there?
Yeah, this is Jason speaking.
Jason, this is Dave Ramsey from the Dave Ramsey Show. You're live on the radio.
Oh, my goodness. This is incredible.
You won $10,000!
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious!
Oh, my word.
$10,000!
Oh, my word. I've never won anything in my life like this. I mean, I'm speechless. You have made my day. This is like one of the best days of my life.
That donation came as a result of a miraculous set of circumstances that God's hands were all over and as a result of God's people praying. Fast forward several months, and the Beaufort Seventh-day Adventist Church holds a 24-hour prayer vigil. And 48 hours after the 24-hour prayer vigil, I get a phone call from a childhood friend who I probably hadn't spoken to in at least a year, maybe longer. My friend and his wife had read the Carolina Action newsletter that highlighted how God and Dave Ramsey blessed our church with $10,000, and they felt that God was impressing them to do something to help our church as well. But it wasn't until after our church's prayer vigil that they pulled the trigger with a phone call to me. So my friend and I make small talk, and then he asks how the building program is going, and I tell him, well, we just concluded a 24-hour prayer vigil for that. And he replied, well, tell your church that prayer works because my wife and I would like to do something to help your church. He told me to keep my eyes open for a check in the mail, but he never told me how much that they were going to be giving. So I finally emailed them and asked, and they sent a wonderful reply back saying that their bonus check of $10,000 was on the way. When that happened, it reminded me of Jesus' words in Luke chapter 6 and verse 38. Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be put into your bosom. For with the same measure that you use, it will be measured back to you. Dave Ramsey's donation had been matched dollar for dollar. The same measure that you use, it will be measured back to you. When I look back on everything that's happened with the Dave Ramsey donation, being able to meet him personally and give him a copy of The Desire of Ages and The Great Controversy, and my friend's gift of another $10,000, I think it's taught me and my congregation two really important lessons. The first is when we take stewardship seriously, God does bless us to the point where we can later take advantage of extraordinary opportunities to be blessing to others and to advance God's kingdom. And the second lesson is that prayer pays. Both of those $10,000 donations came on the heels of God's people praying. It's been a pleasure sharing with you the marvelous and miraculous story that God is writing with the Beaufort Seventh-day Adventist Church. May I ask you to consider how you could be a miracle in this story that God is writing. We need prayer warriors who will call out on God for more miracles for our church. Our church has purchased a shopping center that is over 33,000 square feet. We're going to renovate about 13,000 square feet for worship and classrooms and ministry space, and are committed to doing so with cash in hand that's come from sacrificial giving within our membership. We need people to pray for our members, to have faith that God is going to meet their needs in miraculous ways as they are faithful in their giving. And to pray that through this renovation process, our church will get miraculous deals on materials and labor to stretch those sacrificial gifts as far as they can go. We're also looking for the miracle of community-oriented ministries to fill this space. We have about 20,000 square feet of this shopping center that our membership can't immediately put to good use, but we are looking for the miracle of finding the right community-oriented, community service-minded organizations and ministries who have a real vision and plan on how they could use this space. If you have a viable ministry that will meet community needs, we'd like to see how we can partner with you to take advantage to make this secular shopping center a sacred place where people can be saved. Finally, we're looking for those who can partner with us financially. Our membership has pledged over $530,000 to be given over the next 3 years to renovate 13,000 square feet of our new church home. We want to have every renovation paid for so that the majority of our future finances are not tied with interest and high mortgage payments, but instead invested in evangelism, preparing this community of Beaufort, South Carolina for Christ's soon return. But we have over 20,000 square feet in this shopping center that we need additional funds to help renovate. I'm on the top of a 20-year-old roof that has been patched up, and right now it's holding up. But as you can see here, there are places where it's not in good shape, and eventually it will get worse. Any financial gift that you can bless our church with can be used to take care of these kinds of situations. So we can use this additional space for community-focused ministry. Or if you're impressed to make a donation to help with the immediate renovations of our new church home, we'd greatly appreciate it. We've been given a 3-year deadline by the local government to occupy and be worshiping in this space in order to keep this shopping center exempt from property taxes. Any gift, large or small, would be a miracle, as each dollar given keeps us from having to borrow dollars later, and keeps us from paying interest later, and keeps our church looking forward to the future where we can do miraculous things to fill up this mighty space. Thank you for your prayers and for considering how you can be a miracle in this story that God is writing for the church in Beaufort, South Carolina.